Good morning, I'm Lacey Shippey on the Rural Radio Network, and it's time to take a look at our midday livestock trade with Kyle Bumsted, livestock market analyst. And Kyle, it has been an up and down day, and like we were saying before, it doesn't seem to know exactly which way to go today.
Well, that's right, Lacey. Yesterday had a lot of folks here kind of questioning what was going on here. We made new highs and then settled well off those highs, but built a normal distribution profile here in this October live cattle contract here. We traded a tight range here. 239.80 on down to 238.35. That's pretty tight compared to what we've been trading here normally. We've got the August feeders going off the board here in about an hour. They will be settled against the index sales that are going on today in the country as far as the August feeder cattle. But the index for today looks like it's going to be up $4.55 here around that 365.23 with an average price of 374.25, folks, on 8,442 head. And personally, I somewhat underestimated this index. I was thinking we'd get to 365. The daily sales would need to average 380 on small volume and 375 on large volume. And it did, but multiple strings went in the index from 399 to 410. We had El Reno averaging 360, Dodge City 374, Bassett 375, Bloomfield, Iowa 378, and some on that cattle country video were at 396.5. So, but a lot of yards are pricing their cattle at that 395 to 400 mark. So, box beef was down here a little bit on the choice, up on the choice and down on selected this morning, up $1.20 on the choice, down $1.86 on the select. And we did see some deliveries against that August live cattle contract here, given the basis where it was yesterday. So wouldn't surprise me if we see a few more tonight, but we've got to get through today, and tomorrow those August live cattle go off the board, Lacey.
Thank you, Kyle. That's Kyle Bumsted. And if you'd like to talk to him about the livestock markets, call him at 308-708-7340. You are listening to the Rural Radio Network.
We arrived at the scene, and the job, like everyone before, was executed flawlessly, leaving us with more questions than answers. It was time to bring in the big guns. You don't mean? Yeah, John Deere Bale documentation. All the data, one location. It was the answer to everything. Visit johndeere.com/Bale documentation for more information.
As the leader in bovine respiratory disease solutions, Zoetis knows you need every edge you can get in your fight against BRD. That's why our solution's active ingredients include Josh, and James, and Amy, and Beth, and Mike, and 100+ more professionals with top-of-the-line expertise to keep your cattle and your ROI healthy. Visit ZoetisUS.com/BRD or talk to your veterinarian to get started.
Welcome back. I'm Lacey Shippey on the Rural Radio Network, and it's time for a market update. Corn futures are narrowly mixed in quiet trade today as they continue to test the nearby support on the December contract. Weekly export sales were good with 17,800 metric tons of old crop cancellations and 2.09 million metric tons of new crop sales. Soybeans are lower without any support really to drive that trade upward. Weekly exports were okay at 109,200 metric tons of old crop cancellations and 1.37 million metric tons of new crop sales. Wheat sales were solid at 579,800 metric tons. The extended weather forecast is weighing on the complex as the weather, with the exception of a few drier areas, is supporting that big crop still. December corn is up 3/4 at 406 3/4. March up 1 at 424 1/4. May up 1 1/4 at 434 3/4. November soybeans down 7 at 1040 1/2. January down 7 at 1059 3/4. March down 6 3/4 at 1075 1/2. December Chicago wheat down 1 3/4 at 522 3/4. March down 2 1/4 at 540 1/4. Kansas City December wheat down 3 1/2 at 509 1/2. March down 3 3/4 at 530. September soybean meal down 7.10 at 286, and September bean oil is down 83 cents at 51.64. October live cattle up 30 cents at 239.82. December up 40 at 241.30. September feeders up 77 at 366.17. October up 180 at 366. December lean hogs are at 52 cents at 87.02. February up 67 at 89.30. You're listening to the Rural Radio Network.